And yes, to the chat room, I did have my eyes dilated a couple hours ago. I tried to take my glasses off during the break. I lasted less than 2 minutes, and now I'm starring in the new sitcom Young Biden. Hey, what are you doing, guy? Who's that guy? What are you wanna put your dukes up? Hey, what? Oh, all right.
Oh,
This is America, Jack. Wait a minute, bub. Hey, bub. We just talk. We don't do that in the streets of Wilmington, Delaware. That's for sure. We don't do that. So he was even in my character of Young Biden. He was even a little spotty when he was young.
Yeah. Just as mentally. I don't know what the word is.
I mean, like old.
Yeah.
So
Joe Biden's been 84 for the last 84 years.
Yeah.
Like is he 84? What is he?
Yeah, he's like 82. I think he's 82.
Okay, all right.
82. I'll sock you right in the kisser. All right. You put your dukes up. All right. What? Oh, all right. This guy, it's America. He doesn't understand Americans.
One of my favorite Joe Biden moments was, this was 15, 20 years ago, and I don't even remember who he was talking to, but he was getting the crowd to applaud for this. So and so, stand up, will you? Oh gosh, what am I talking about? The guy's in a wheelchair. So
yeah. Look at that guy. He's tough. He took a bullet. He's a hero. Stand up. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry about the thing.
The wheelchair.
Yeah, come here. Let old Uncle Joe give you a hug. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Oh, what is that? Purpose? Anyway, Garrett, I have my suspicions about where Rob Wright is going.
You do.
I'm going to give you this is my guess. Like, this to me, because there are, like, as far as coaching point guards and developing point guards, developing players in general, Scott Drew's one of the best in the country, but point guard in particular is a position where he has taken a lot of guys and smoothed off the edges. Pierre Jackson, Manu Lecomte, Tweety Carter, who's on the staff, was obviously a McDonald's All-American, much like Rob Wright, and there's not a more perfect match for assistant coach and player than Tweety Carter being in Rob Wright's orbit. Like, there's very similar style of players, same kind of height, same kind of build, same kind of game. Rob Wright's a little bit more of a dead-eye shooter, he can take it to the rim a little bit better than Tweety could, but there was nothing that Tweety couldn't do that the team needed him to do. Tweety and Pierre Jackson, Kenny Cherry were all guys who, they were able to do whatever Baylor needed to do to win. You were here during that time, yep. Pierre, and so you know that. So Rob Wright, there's, to me, 2, 3, 4 coaches that could develop him as a point guard at the same level as Scott Drew. I don't know if he's going to go to any of those schools. Kansas has Darren Peterson coming in, so I don't think he's going to Kansas. Could he be going to Houston with Kelvin Sampson? Maybe. I think this is an SEC thing, and my thing is I am betting that Sean Miller's involved here, and Texas is who's going to get him. Because Texas just hired Sean Miller, and they are flush with cash and ready to spend. Garrett, who do you think?
I mean, I think Texas is – honestly, I kind of forgot about the whole Sean Miller and Texas thing. It would actually make sense. I think it would be funny if it was somebody like Houston, but I don't think anybody in the Big 12 is going to come and poach anybody off of Baylor's roster. I just feel like there's a sense of camaraderie between the coaches in
I mean,
here.
a little bit.
But at the same time, I don't think nobody's going to come poach him for the Big 12 wise.
I don't think it's going to be Jerome Tang or Grant McCaslin.
Okay, it might be somebody like Kansas or somebody who needs somebody.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it could be maybe it's Kansas. I do think it's SEC because the money that we were told, and again, all this is unofficial and off the record, but it's good money. So to beat that, there's,
St. John's, baby.
St. John's, here's the teams that could beat the money, for sure I know. Florida, Texas, St. John's.
That's about it.
Kentucky, Arkansas, Texas. A&M could, but it's not they've got a new coach.
You're not leaving Baylor to go play basketball.
He's not going to go Baylor to go play buckyball where you have to run a full court press the whole time. No. So, I think, and I do think there's pretty clear evidence of a helicopter dad situation here, which is unfortunate. And there's all kind of helicopter dads. There's helicopter dads who, just kind of can't take the step back and could be a little, like, they can be a little annoying. Or there's ones who, decide that their kid has more value than they've ever could see, and they're going to try to squeeze every last drop. I just don't think as a basketball player, Rob Wright is going to go anywhere and develop like he would under Scott Drew. Now, are there better rosters out there? Yeah, probably. But, I think what he was building was going to be pretty good. And, they got to, like, the problem this year was they didn't have any size or depth, depth inside. And they tried to get a couple guys that didn't work out. And, that's just the nature of college basketball. You're not really building for 5 years anymore. You're building for now. Like, you're building, like, the season starts now. So, like, once the season's over. But for Baylor in the process with Rob Wright, they thought he'd agreed to his NIL deal, that he was not going to be in the portal. So they went about building the roster around him and finding guys who could that would mesh well with Rob Wright as him at the center point. And there's this mad dash before the House settlement. Now, Pierre, they're a week in, and a lot of the guys that they could have brought in to replace him at point guard have already committed and signed elsewhere. So they're a little up against it. Now, if there's a guy who can find a point guard out of nowhere, and his staff can, it's Scott Drew. So we'll see what happens there. But I think Kentucky could also be involved with Rob Wright, but I also don't think, because Alvin Brooks is on that staff, that it would go down in this fashion. Now, if he jumped in the portal and went somewhere like everybody else did a week ago, then I would have said, anybody's on. That's just how it works. It sucks for Baylor. But the fact that it's a weekend, this really paints them into a corner, and coaches like them are going through this all over because this calendar is so weird that as soon as the season's over, you've got to build, like, there's not even a period like in the NFL, NBA, like, the season's over, you've got a month to, like, figure out, okay, who are we going to be next year? What do we need to do? How do we move these things around? What's our money situation? You're out of the tournament, and then you're in the portal. You're just there. There's no time to build. You're just constantly doing that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, actually, and I had not heard the news until you brought it up with me just now, right before the break, talking about Rob Wright. I had not heard the news that he was in the transfer portal, and that was, it got me to thinking, why now? Obviously, I think I know money is the answer, as it always is the answer to pretty much every question anybody has in the history of the world. But the timing of it, I'm like, what? That's what really is getting me. Why now? How did this take so long to get to this point that now is the time that he's letting Baylor know he's entering the portal? Because, even though I know there's no loyalty among thieves, between, the world of NIL, between the universities and the players.
I don't feel like, I feel bad for the coaching staff because I know them and I believe them all to be good guys. The nature of this business, like, they can't be all that shocked. They can be disappointed. They can't be all that shocked when guys go in the portal and want more money. They know that's how it is and it sucks. But they also know that, like, they're not doing the Dabo Sweeney where, like, no, I will not shop there. They're shopping at the store too.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that would be my question to Rob. Like, if Rob was on the show right now, I'd be like, hey, just what's up with the timing? Why now, as opposed to when the portal opened a couple of weeks or a week and a half ago or whatever it was?
Yeah. So, the portal was open last week. There was this mad dash, and the other thing is, like, for someone like Rob Wright, there could be teams that, like, went out and got a point guard, but he's so damn good that they're going to be like, yeah, you're our other point guard now. I'm thinking about teams who haven't maybe, like, added that position yet that would have that kind of, sway and money. And here's the thing about Kansas. Darren Peterson's going to be their point guard. Now, if Peterson and Wright play together, I mean, that's one heck of a 1-2 punch up there. That's two guys who can handle and distribute and do a lot of things. So, if it's Kansas, wouldn't surprise me. Houston would surprise me a little bit less or a little bit more just because even though they're in the finals tonight, like, their whole roster, like, they've got, 3 6-year guys, Garrett?
Yeah.
They're 5 and 6. Like, they got 3 guys leaving. Like, LJ Cryer's gone. Roberts is gone. Uzan's gone. Like, all 3 of those guys are gone no matter what. So then, like, Houston, he doesn't know what his roster is going to be next year either, really.
Right.
So if it's about, like we've seen, it's about the roster. I'm looking at teams who have already started to piece that roster together a little bit more. And, there's only a couple that make a whole lot of sense to me. And Texas is one of them. And then Florida is one of them because they're losing Walter Clayton Jr. Sure. And that would be a huge way to fill that gap and not have to worry about changing things up. Because, again, similar size, similar height, all those things, skill set, all that. But, yeah, Texas, Florida, St. John's, who has a bunch of money and needs a point guard who can score. Watch out for Louisville in this too, Garrett.
You think so?
Louisville was really good this year in year one of Pat Kelsey.
They were.
Yeah. I would not be surprised to see Louisville, pull a guy that everybody's like, oh, okay. All right. And Alabama,
we don't know, we also don't know the roster situation at NC State, what their money situation's looking like. We already know Will Wade, he's going to poach. So, that's an option too.
Yeah. Will Wade and so there's all that. I do think though, to beat the money that he was reportedly getting, or that it's, that he was going to get here. And here's what I know. I don't know how much money Baylor has in their basketball NIL pool, but I know it's damn good. They're competitive with everybody in the country. So to beat that, you have to have, and that's for anybody that would do this. To beat that, this has got to come from a deeper pool that has silly money that they don't care about right now. And so SEC teams that are really good, like Auburn, Alabama, Florida, like Arkansas, who had deep runs that are losing some guys, makes sense. Or SEC teams that just hired a new head coach that aren't Texas A&M, that, have figured out basketball a long time ago, even though not to their liking, like Texas and Sean Miller. I don't know. Those are the teams that make the most. North Carolina. God's sakes, North Carolina, they lost Elliot Cadeau to Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah. So their point guard's gone. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's if it's the sunglasses, but a part of me thinks that Paul's got a pseudo psyop operation going on for Kansas to try to help Kansas, because Kansas becoming a better basketball team dramatically improves his home life. There's a huge benefit to Kansas, being good.
It does, but in the 40 minutes of basketball, it's the same whether they're winning by 50 or losing by 50.
Got it.
She's nervous to watch. There are games that they're up by 31 with 9 minutes left, and she's Googling, what's the fastest comeback in regular season history, just to make sure that, okay, well, once they cross the 7-minute mark, I can take a breath.
And they're playing Prairie View A&M in non-conference or something like that.
Yeah.
She's sweating bullets.
Oh, yeah. She's getting better. She's getting part of it is, Pierre, we have been given, and I know that this is going to sound strange all the way around, but by working in the field that we work in, we've been given this gift of you have to not only is this the best job you can possibly ever even think to have. Seriously, there's nothing better than what we do. Yeah. But we also get our on-the-job training, our the flight simulator thing is everybody who's in sports and good at it is a passionate sports fan. Every single one of us, we are passionate sports fans. So before you get into sports and you're just a fan of something, you have to learn how to when you get in and you want to be professional, if you want to be successful long term, you have to learn how to channel your passions in different ways, turn them down and all that. And the easiest thing to do is and most people start okay, I'm going to start at my student newspaper or student television show or channel, or my first job is going to be probably relatively close to my university because that's where the connections are and that's where you wind up in the market. So you have to cover the team that you passionately love, that you would go drink beer with your buddies and get in the stands and yell about, but you have to objectively and cover them. The first step is you don't cheer in the press box.
Right.
So because you don't cheer in the
one.
press box, you have to automatically go, well, if I don't want to get kicked out of here and then get in trouble with my boss, I have to shut up. I have to just sit here and go, oh, or you make normal reactions. Now, I've been in many loud press boxes when crazy things happen. And it's not cheering, it's just human reaction of
reaction,
like,
yes.
whoa, you know. Were you there when Stephon Diggs caught the pass?
I was not in attendance. I was watching that from the studio.
Okay.
No.
But like, I'm sure the press box was like, holy crap. Like, it's just, I've been at Cowboys games and Mavericks games and Baylor games and A&M games where something crazy happens and you're like, whoa.
Yep.
You know, like, holy cow, what did we just see? But you don't like, you're not like getting up going like, yeah, go team. You don't do that. And because of that, a year, like the first year is the hardest. Once you get to that first year, each time you just don't even think about it. So much to the point where a lot of times, and I know this isn't just me, but I will go to games with my friends of teams I passionately love and just sit there and clap a little bit. And they're like, what is the matter with you? Are you on Xanax? And I'm like, no, I just like my brain, like there's a natural stop between my brain and my mouth and this now that believe me, I'm still thinking it. I'm thinking, you know, when I'm in the press box with the Cowboys and I'm watching them melt down, I'm thinking it. I've walked in that locker room. I'm sure you with the Kings is the same way, or the Sharks, where you like walk in the locker room and like the fan part of your brain is you want to go up to the guy that messed up and go, "Why did you do this to us? Why did you do this to us?" And then you're like, "Tough break, Sam. Let's talk about."
I can think of a perfect example when the Dolphins were playing the Vikings here in Minnesota a handful of years ago, and they just got rolled in that game. It was like 41-17 or something like that. Chris Greer was sitting right behind me in the press box, and it took every ounce of energy not to turn around and be like, "You call this a team? You put this together?" And then not only that, you knew my abject disdain for Ryan Tannehill. I go in the post-game press room. Ryan Tannehill takes the podium. I didn't say a word. I just looked at him with my arms crossed. I'm like, in my brain, I didn't say it out loud. I'm like, "You did this. Like, you just you. You are the source of everything that is wrong in my life. You make me want to smoke. You make me just want to walk off a cliff. I absolutely cannot take this." But, you know, in my professional manner, you keep it together. Just it's boiling inside here. So
because of that, I am able to channel it. Although when I watch Florida State football from the comfort of my own home, the second whiskey turns it off.
Yes.
Off. Like that's like, it's not a permanent thing. It has an off switch, and it is 2 whiskeys. Yeah, throughout the course of my career, that people who I've worked with at different TV stations, they're like, "You know what we should do? We should get a camera on you watching some of your teams." Like, no, that's a terrible idea. That's no, I will never do that. You think ever. The language at the beginning of this show was bad?
Oh.
Yeah, no. And look, Pierre, to bring it back to Frank Costanza.
Yes.
Why'd you trade Jay Buhner, huh?
Yeah.
He had 38 home runs, 128 RBIs, a laser rocket arm in right field.
You don't know what the hell you're doing.
Everyone's telling me, Ken Phelps.
which led to the greatest voicemail of all time. Jerry, it's Frank Costanza. Mr. Steinbrenner's here. George is dead. Call me back.
Yeah.
Incredible television.
Yes, absolutely. So You're Not Penske material is going in a sportscast in the next week or so.
Got it.
Once you get it in, we'll play it on the show, and I will give you your next assignment. And then we'll start. We might do this every week. I don't know. It might just be a thing of what can we get in the sportscast.
100%.
Yeah, I'm help. I also would like to help out with our prodigious audience.
No doubt about it. I can even clip it for you myself when I'll send it to you myself personally.
Good deal. All right.